Okay, so let's talk about AI video. We've all seen the incredible things that tools like Sora and Google's Veo can do, right? They can build these amazing cinematic worlds from just a handful of words. But let's be real. We've also all felt that frustration, that sinking feeling when your brilliant idea comes out as this wobbly, kind of generic, and frankly useless video clip. Well, today, we're going to fix that.
So, picture this. You type in what feels like a perfectly good idea, something like a high-speed car chase. And what do you get back? It's not exactly a blockbuster. The camera might just float around like a lost drone. The physics feel kind of weird, and there's just no tension, no excitement. This is a classic case of the AI having all the power in the world, but not nearly enough direction.
And that right there, that's the real question, isn't it? This isn't a failure of the tech itself, it's really just a communication gap. The secret is learning how to translate that creative vision you have in your head into a language the AI was literally trained on. We're going to bridge that gap and put you firmly in the director's chair.
So what is this big secret? Well, it's not some complicated code or a hidden setting. It's actually about learning to speak the language of cinema. You have to remember, these AI models have been fed countless hours of movies. They know the lingo that directors and cinematographers have been using for over a century.
This really requires a huge shift in how you think about it. You're not just a user typing keywords into a search bar anymore. No, you are a director, and you're giving very specific, actionable instructions to your entire film crew. A crew that just happens to be an algorithm. Your prompt isn't just a suggestion, it is the shooting script.
Look at this. This slide shows the power of being specific perfectly. On the left, a beautiful street at night. Okay, that's pretty vague. But the director's prompt on the right, wet asphalt, zebra crosswalk, neon signs reflecting in puddles. Wow, you can already see it, can't you? You're not just describing a scene, you're building a whole world with real details the AI can grab onto.
Let's start building our director's vocabulary with the absolute basics, camera shots. You know, each one has a totally different emotional purpose. A wide shot tells us where we are, a close-up makes us feel connected to a character's emotions, and a high-angle shot can make someone look really small and vulnerable. Just by naming the shot in your prompt, you get to control the entire emotional vibe of your scene. It's that simple.
And here's a perfect example of that in action. Instead of just saying, a creepy haunted house, you get specific. Use a Dutch angle shot. Instantly, the AI knows you want that weird, tilted, off-kilter framing. It creates this feeling of unease before we even see anything spooky. You're directing the feeling, not just the subject.
And it's not just about framing. You can direct the camera's movement, too. A smooth, Steadicam shot feels elegant and cinematic, but a shaky handheld shot, that creates this raw urgency, like you're right there in the middle of the action. And a whip pan, that super fast camera turn, gives you this frantic, high-energy transition. These are powerful tools for controlling the entire pace and feel of your video.
And of course, there's lighting. This is one of the most powerful ways to set a mood. If you ask for golden hour lighting, the AI knows you want that warm, soft, almost hopeful glow. If you ask for high contrast noir lighting, it knows you want deep, dark shadows and a sense of mystery. You are literally painting the scene with light, just by using your words.
Okay, you've got the basics down. Let's level up. Now we're going to look at some more advanced features that give you even more precise control over what you create.
Now this is a total game changer. Tools like Google's Veo actually let you give it a reference image. What does that mean? It means you can lock in the exact look of your character, or the design of a specific product, or the vibe of a location. The AI uses your image as the starting point, like the very first frame, and then it animates from there. It's the key to getting perfect visual consistency.
And it's not just about the visuals. A lot of these tools can also generate audio, and you can direct it in the same way. You can give it exact lines of dialogue just by putting them in quotes. You can ask for specific sound effects like tire screeching. You can even build an entire soundscape by describing the ambient noise. This adds a whole other layer of immersion to your scenes.
So what happens if you get the perfect clip, but it's just not long enough? Well, you can just prompt the AI to extend it. A tool like Veo can add another 7 seconds of seamless action, and you can do that up to 20 times. That lets you build out much longer, more complex scenes without losing that all-important consistency.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This technology, it's not perfect. And as so many of us have found out the hard way, one of the biggest frustrations is the AI's tendency to constantly move the camera, even when you really just want it to stay still.
This quote from a user on Reddit,
I mean, it just perfectly captures that feeling, doesn't it? You ask for a simple, static shot, and the AI gives you a swooping drone flight instead. But here's the good news. Where there's a problem, you can bet the creative community is going to find a solution.
And they found some absolutely brilliant hacks to solve this.
For instance, you can just use a bunch of redundant keywords, static, fixed, motionless camera on a tripod, to really hammer the point home. Another really clever trick is to describe the scene as a painting, which kind of tricks the AI into keeping things still. Or you can focus the prompt on a super tiny detail, like a cat is sleeping and breathing, which gives the AI less of a reason to fly the camera around. These aren't official features, but they are incredibly effective workarounds.
So when you put it all together, the basic language of cinema, these next-level prompting tricks, and these clever community workarounds, you completely change your relationship with the AI.
Let's just bring it all home. You are no longer just rolling the dice and hoping for a good result. You are a director. You're armed with the language you need to communicate your vision precisely. Your superpower here is specificity. The more detail you give about the camera, the lighting, the movement, the sound, the more control you have, and the closer that final video is going to be to the vision you have in your head.
Think about it. The AI gives you an entire virtual film studio right at your fingertips. It's your cast, your crew, your lighting team, and your camera operator, all rolled into one. And they're all just sitting there, waiting for their instructions. So the only question left is, what story will you direct?